Hello and welcome to another video by Average Modeller. Spitfires were uploaded a little bit late for Christmas, so I apologise about that. Anyone who is watching them and wonders why they were uploaded on Christmas Day, but all the stuff was recorded way before Christmas. Work, time got in the way, so I did what I could. But even though the Spitfires are all done now, I'm a bit sick of Spitfires at the minute. And while I've got other projects on my go, they're again piston engine aircraft, and I fancied a bit of a change. I was having a look in the hobby shop I go to, model shop I go to the other day, and I found something to do a change. That's a little bit different, isn't it? This is the Warhammer Orc Bomber. I've never ever done a Warhammer kit before. Never had any interest in doing Warhammer kits, but something about this one stood out to me, thinking this could be fun. Especially when I saw the version on the back there, this yellow one, which is the one I'm going to do, because I just love the look of that thing. Three versions you can have. You can have this one on the front, which I think is just called, I think I had a look at the instructions, it's like the Blitz Bomber or something like that. You've got the yellow one, which is the burner bomber, and then you just got a few pictures of this black one, which is a sort of fighter called the Dakar Jet. And well, it probably makes sense to some people, but I just like the look of the thing. So I'm going to have a break from Spitfires, I'm going to have a break from piston engine aircraft, and build something very fantastical. Let's go over more to this, see what it's like. Come with me. Okay, we're over at the model desk. We have our kit, we have our cutters, we have liquid poly, and we also have a poly cement. Right, let's have a look at this. This is made by Citadel. Like I said, I've never built any of their stuff before, but let's have a look. Orc Bomber. Blah 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 blah. Very small bits of blurb about it. Like so yeah, they're called the Blitzer Bomber, which is the red one, the Burner Bomber, which is the yellow one, and the Dakar Jet. Right, let's have a look. Ooh, printing problems. Faded a bit through there, but I'm sure I can work around that. Follow stages 1 to 4 for either variant, blah blah blah. Oh, you actually build with pilots. You have several choices of head for a pilot. I quite like that. And just sits in a tub which slots in the top. And then you just follow separate stages for whichever one you're doing. And we're doing the Burner Bomber, which has a straight wing and the wingtip tanks. So I like the look of it. I was originally going to see if I could combine the two by doing this, doing all the bombs underneath this Blitzer Bomber, but they're different wing arrangements, so I just thought I'd follow the instructions. Right. Let us have a look at this process. Let's see what we get. Right. Put that down there to give me some room. And these can go in there as well. Right. Let's go and start building this thing. Oh, transfers. Left the transfers out. Right. Let us get us going-us. Okay, that is all fairly well together there. And that is already starting to look like something quite impressive. I've just got it leaning against there so it will set as it's going in there. One little thing, I don't know if I've done this wrong because I've never done one of these before. There's this tiny little piece here, where is it there? Looks to me like it went to this little recess on the outside of the body because it's natural fit. And there's a little pin on the end of it which goes in a little hole. Except when I was pushing it in there, I think, come on, need a little bit further, a little bit further, it'll go. There's this massive snap from inside. Nothing's rattling loose, so I'm guessing that it's just snapped off its sprue inside. So hopefully I haven't ruined it, but can only find out if I carry on and see. Okay, I'm going to cut out the next lot of parts because they're all over the sprues. You probably saw me trying to find the bits for that one. So I'll join you in a bit. Back in a tick. Okay, it's the next day rather than a couple of hours later, because my camcorder here, this lovely little thing right here, ran out of battery. So I carried on for a little bit, sorry. But there you have the basic frame of a Bomber. I did a bit of test painting on there just to see how it looks, quite like it. There is the Orc in there. I've fully painted him. He's quite cool actually, I quite like him. So let's carry on. The next bit we've got the engines here and here, and our first crystal part there, I assume. Then we have to find out the bits for the burner bomber. Or you could say it another way, you could say it's a burner bomber. Then you sound like Lister out of Red Dwarf, and we don't want that. It's a burner bomber. See you in a bit. Okay, as you can see, it's looking a lot more like a plane now, but you've got these little engines on. Oh, miniature cuppa. It is by way of a cup of tea, not a cup of Marmite. Which some people might do, you never know. Right, the next bit we've got to do is find all the bits and the instructions for the burner bomber. And like I say, I'll straight to a page, look at that. I'll cut out the bits off camera because they're all over the shop on the sprues. Okay, it's a couple of days after the last video I did, or the last part of this, because I'm shooting this between work and wherever I can. And we're looking through the instructions and I found something. The wing piece here, I thought there was two separate wings because on the box, I'll just get this up again. The main one looks to me like the wings are swept back drastically. But on the other ones, I've just got to hold some of this stuff in here, bear with me. It looks like they're more straight. So I thought there was two different wings. What I found out was the actual things are not swept, it's just one piece, but there's this little bit here which you put together which makes the wings go from being flat to pointing upwards slightly. And I was starting thinking, because to do the burner bomber as is, I've got to put the rest of the canopy on there. But I quite like it with just the front shield. So what I'm going to decide to do is just do a mishmash of all of these. So I'm going to use these bits, which have cannons going on the front, to do the upswept wings, still do the bomb load and the wing layout from the burner bomber, and the tail design, and I'm not sure whether to do the turret for a burner bomber yet or something else, but we'll find out. Okay, took a little while to put all those bits on because the tail, the rudder and the fins, elevators, had to be, there's no pin for them really to join into, so they just had to be held flat against it. But it is turning out to be a really impressive looking thing now. It's got some guns on the front. I say it's just drying off those guns. Oops, shouldn't do that. But one thing hang on, let's get there fine now. One thing I did do while I was doing that, I also put together the wing for the next stage, just to show you what that's going to look like head on. Normally it would be sort of flat wing like that, but now it's going to be a raised wing. I just think that makes a nice looking thing, because I'm going to have it sort of downwards on the diving thing, so I thought raised wing looks quite cool. I was originally wanting to see if I could put them on backwards, but like sort of an X-plane type thing, but I think that might have been a bit too tricky, so I'm just going to do this one for the time being and see how it works out. Right, I'm going to cut out the next parts of the kit, which is loads of bombs and wing parts and all that lot. So I'm going off camera and I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, I've back cut out all the parts for wings, so I didn't get it confused. I've done one already. I'm just following the standard burner bomber wing. So you've got the large bomb, 3 rockets, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a wingtip tank or it's supposed to be another sort of bomb, but I just like the look of it. I did try cutting out a section there to see if I could, I'll just bring it up close, just by the thing, just about there, you can just see my finger going behind it, to see if I could angle it, flap up or not, but you can't really, so I'm leaving that down. Got the other bits there, got a drink, because I needed one. So yeah, I'll glue this together and we'll put the wings on, and then I'll decide whether I'm doing a turret or not. See you in a minute. Okay, wings are all glued on, and I've been having a look at the instructions, And I think I'm going to do the turret, but not one from a burner bomber. I'm going to do one from the original plane, the Blitzer bomber. Yep, that is correct. Because it is an open gun cockpit and you can see the other orc inside. And I think that could look quite cool. Okay, it's been a couple of days since I was last up here. And that's been really annoying for me, I will just admit, because until I started doing stuff like this on camera, it was sort of, oh yeah, I'll do a bit here, I'll do a bit here. But I want to continue with this one here. It's just off camera actually, let's tilt up a bit. I want to continue this because it's really, really good. But I can't because I'm doing it on camera. So, let's carry on for a bit. What I've decided to do is, rather than, since it's looking, the plane's looking quite sleek as is, I thought rather than do the turret for the burner bomber, which is this thing here, and it makes it look like a submarine. So my girlfriend said, which I quite agree, it does look like a flying submarine. I'm going to do the open cockpit one from the Blitzer bomber, because you know I've mucked this about anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're back. Yeah, this is the cockpit for the burner bomber, not burner, the Blitzer bomber, which I'm going to do. I did actually modify it a bit. I have done some painting just to, because it's best to do it pre-painted. I have, I'll just get that in tight there, clipped away a fair chunk at the back, because I was finding it was fouling on top of the canopy of the cockpit, so that was getting in the way. Okay, right, I'm going to glue this together. You're going to have a speed up. I've got the bits, I've got the tea, I've got 2 tubes of cement. This bit, by the way, that was if you're doing the fighter version, the Dakar jet. Hang on, I'll just pull this off the stand. They do provide you with a stand with these, which I quite like. That's the hole that the cockpit's going to fit in, and I was cutting that out to see whether I like the look of it just as a solid thing. But I like the idea of having a second orc in the back as a rear gunner. I think that looks really good. So, you don't need that bit. You can go back on your stand. That's the stand, by the way. You have to glue the base on. But it's really good. It fits in really well. And it is slightly postable. I'm guessing for the wargaming people. So, yeah, I like this. I'm going to start building. See you in a bit. Okay, that's just drying off at the minute there. These bits were the ammunition for the gun, but I found where it's supposed to fit on, it was sort of fouling the side of the cockpit, so I left that off. It's not a very important piece, I don't think. These bits are the gunner's arms, but oops, it's the gun's off to one side of where he is, so they don't line up as far as I can. Well, you can make them line up, but you're always having the gun pointing out to one side, which isn't a problem, I suppose. But I've left the arms off as well, because there's going to be a canopy over them, so it's going to be sort of hidden. So I'm not going to bother about that too much. So yeah, that is drying off on there. Let's get the model in. And here she is so far. I've done a bit more painting, as you can tell. I decided to do, as you can see, red on the front, yellow on the back. I did think it looked a lot like something out of Thunderbirds at one point, but I quite like it. The other thing I also know is this white round the nose, and that's made me think. So I'm going to see if I can try. I might not have it done in time for the, or might not have it done by the time you see the final video. But I'm see if I can get some little copies of eagle eyes, like a Hawkeye type thing, to go on each side of the plane, so it looks like it's an eagle screaming down grade at you, which I thought could be quite cool. The underside is just painted sky blue, apart from bombs and other bits which I've still got to paint up. That's only your first coat, but I really like it. Right, let's let this I'll let this dry off. I'll glue the canopy on the back of this guy, and then the next thing is finish painting and the transfers. There won't be a painting video for this one because I'm not reviewing the paint, I'm only reviewing the kit. So yeah, I'll see you for a finale video in a little while. See you in a bit, guys. Okay, I have finished doing all the painting and everything of the Warhammer 4000 or 40,000 Orc Bomber. I like it, I really do. So it comes with its own stand, so you can just display it like that. I'm going to do a display for it, but I am really proud with how it's come out. I've done this with eyes on the front, so it looks like a eagle coming towards you. As for the wings, like I said, I've put in the extra sections from both the Blitzer Bomber and the Burner Bomber to make my own thing up. It's got the full bomb load underneath. The only thing's missing is there can be extra cannons if you're doing the Dakka jet on there. My only problem I would say with these is that the transfers are a bit thin. They had these really nice skull and crossbones ones, Orc skull and crossbones, which I was going to use in place of these red circles on here, and I put one on it. Sat originally on one of these raised rivets on the side, which, you know, they're a very nice bit of detail, but unfortunately trying to move it off, it ripped in half. So they are very thin, so if you've never built one of these before, beware of that. But otherwise I had no problems building this. It was very easy to follow, despite my instructions having a printing mark on them. Painting wise, it's sort of do whatever you want. Transfers as well, do whatever you want, put whatever you want where. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I mean, this one, it's never going to be used in any wargaming, it's just a little model I like. It's been painted up in a scheme I think was quite good, given a few washes. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. My rating scale, would I recommend it? I'd recommend it to anyone. If you're not into Warhammer, which I'm not, just have a look at them, see one that takes your fancy and give it a go. See what you think, because I'm going to build another one. Because I think if I'm going to put this on a display plinth, it is diving. What could it be diving on? See you next video.